I drove to Jiffy Lube to get my oil changed. I was guided into the bay by the mechanic. As I rolled down the window, he asked me the make and model of my car. After that, he wrote down all of my information, like my name and address. Next, he pulled up 3 different types of oil changes that I was able to receive, the cheapest one being $40. I was thinking to myself, do I really need to pay an extra $40 each month just to get an oil change? This is when I first thought about doing an oil change by myself to save some money. The first drive-through oil changes started in the late 1970s and the early 1980s. This changed the auto industry. Not only was it convenient for the daily driver, but also for oil companies. It led to an easy access oil change to many drivers. Even now, most people get their oil changed by their mechanic or an easy drive-through station. By doing this job yourself, you can save anywhere from $25 to $75, depending on the make and model of your car. It will take about 30 minutes to complete after the first time you do it by yourself. The first time may take up to an hour to get familiar with everything. The first thing you will need to do before you start your oil change is to make sure your car is cooled down so the oil is not hot anymore, but also not too cold. Next, you need to gather all of your materials that you will need to complete this process. These materials include wrench to remove your drain plug, an oil filter wrench, an oil drain pan, a funnel, latex gloves, eye protection, jack and jack stamps, which are optional depending on how high your car stands, oil, an oil filter, and a replacement drain plug. After you gather all of your materials, you will need to figure out what kind of oil your car needs. An easy way to do so is by looking up the make and model of your car on the internet. At this point, you will want to be wearing your latex gloves and some kind of eye protection. If it is necessary, jack up your car so you're able to access the underneath of your car. Make sure to use safety stands as well. Now you want to locate your drain plug on the bottom of your car. Once you find it, make sure to place the oil drain pan underneath the plug. Now you can unscrew the drain. After the drain is open the cap where you pour your new oil in, located in the engine bay. Make sure all of the oil is drained before you start unscrewing your oil filter with its wrench. After all the oil is drained, place the oil pan underneath the oil filter. When unscrewing the oil filter, you may have some oil that pours out as well. Once there is no more oil drippage, you will need to clean all of the excess oil that splashed onto the car. At this point, you will need to screw your oil drain plug back into place. Now you are able to take off your latex gloves, so you're able to get a good grip while installing your new oil filter. The oil filter should not be extremely tight. The messy part of this process is now over, and you will want to grab your new oil. Make sure your drain plug and oil filter are properly installed before you start to put the new oil in. To do so, grab your funnel and stick it into the oil reservoir. You'll be needing to look up how many quarts of oil needed for your specific car. After you find out that information, you are now ready to pour. For an easier and less messy pour, you can turn the bottle of oil on its side. Now you are ready to screw on your oil cap and start up your car. Let your car run for about 30 seconds to get the oil to start circulating. Then shut off your car. Check for any leaks and make sure you are satisfied with your work. Once you are satisfied, you can take your car off the jack and check your oil level while it is on ground level. Now that you have made sure your oil level is perfect, you have completed the oil change by yourself. Not only have you completed an oil change by yourself, you also saved yourself some money. Even though many people may not have time to drain their oil, change their oil filter, and then add new oil, it is definitely worth to do this process yourself. When it is all finished, you'll feel accomplished and you'll have an extra $30 in your pocket.